Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome our Spark Speaker of the Day, Mr. Vivek Das, founder, Synergics Solutions Private Limited, to kindly join us here. And the topic is yet very challenging, talking of the technology transformations, integrating technology deployment with change management for the holistic tech adoption within the organization. Let's give it up for Sir Vivek Das.
Can we have the presentation, please? So the presentation for technology starts with a technical glitch. A very good morning to all. I am Vivek on behalf of Synergics here. And it's been a journey of good 18 years that we started on. We are spread across roughly 7 countries, apart from India. And practically every state of India today also would have a user using our software as on date. And as we speak, we would have nothing less than 20,000 users hooked onto the system concurrently in the jewelry vertical right away. So this was a slide, and we welcome you all, and we have been acknowledged by a few media houses too, and acknowledged by Economic Times, AWS, Business Today in our journey for 18 years. Now, what and from whom did we learn? A journey with the omni-channel and e-tailers. Carrot Lane, when we got it had roughly 4 stores. Today, we are 250 plus, and it's a perfect example for an omni-channel experience. Candier actually started online, went to omni-channel. Today, they are doing franchisee as well. Angara e-commerce. I don't know if many of you would have heard about it, but one of the best examples of an Indian company having supply chain for other countries where they have factories, wherein mounts could be manufactured in one country, diamonds could be set in another country, and the finished piece can be sold at LA. So that's what Angara e-commerce is, and they're doing exceptionally well in US and in Australia. Browns, when we started in South Africa, we have replaced SAP there. There were 6, they had 6 stores, went on to become to 52 stores in South Africa and 10 in Europe. The last part I already said, that 20,000 users when there was a glitch as we started. We have been blessed to have a journey with independence as well. There are a few names I have mentioned here, and the few names we have not mentioned here, because the list is too long, and we're thankful to every one of them because we have learned in the last 18 years from everyone that you can see here. Be it a single store, multi-store, or omni-channel experience, the experience that we have got has been priceless. So why is it that these business houses actually chose us over available Oracle, Microsoft, SAP, or other softwares? We are not saying we are the best, and we are not saying that the others are bad. All we are saying is that whenever you buy something, you got to understand what is the right fit. Let's take an example when we buy, suppose there's a different budget and you land up buying some planes to do a particular job. It's not that the other manufacturer is bad. It is about finding that right fit. What is it exactly is required for your business to automate? And we have pointed a few examples here. We are the only direct principal actually working in this domain. And we feel that you've got to have something which is complete in totality to automate you. And that is one reason why people have chosen us. We have been evolving technology as well. The tech stack that we have today is top of the line and the best in class available in this industry. There's one more problem, There's one more struggle that here, if you see, that even the dual unit of measurement is a challenge. Now, what do I mean by dual unit of measurement? We have diamonds in pieces and carats both. Whenever I talk about any standardized ERP, they can achieve it, but the way they achieve it is like you're holding your ear on the other side, So, what is it that differentiates us? It's about you buying a technology today and you living with that technology forever. That's what happens when you buy any standardized ERP. Suppose you bought SAP and you want to go to SAP HANA. SAP in Germany landed up doing something and they made SAP HANA, which is independent of your house that you built on top of SAP. Now what happens on top of it is that when you change that base, the entire house that you built on top of SAP actually is as good as you're building it again. Now that is an experience which people do not want to get into, so you land up living with the same technology which you started with, which is not the question here with us. And it becomes imperative for you to actually evolve, We have ventured into AI-based analytics. We'll come to that. And that is one of the reasons that perhaps people chose us. And there is a very different kind of approach between a generic ERP and us. The generic ERP actually comes with a core as finance. And then they build the peripheral model of manufacturing, retail, or any other modules that you might require. We come from a background where we say the core is your jewelry business, and on top of it is anything else. So that is a difference. What happens whenever you try to break the core in case of ERP, ability and time to actually go live changes, and it is humongously different. And obviously, we are blessed that you guys have given us this kind of knowledge. 32,85,000 man-hours have gone into making what we have today. So what are the current challenges that we have in the jewelry business? I have put it as transformation, expansion, and that too, while achieving these two, we should have operational efficiency and customer focus. I have a few questions for all of you. Many of you would say yes to a few, might say yes to all, you might have information, and you might have answers no to a few, but the whole idea is, how are you getting this information? Is it manual? Is it that 5 people at the end of the day are getting you this information, or is it really seamless? Let's come to one points at one time. Now, SKU level of bill of material-wise cost and profitability. As we term it as COGS, many of you would say we have it category-wise. I know how many rings, I know how many bangles, but do you really know in that bangle, the diamond actually gave you profit or it gave you losses? The labor is that you made money off or something else? Vendor-wise contribution to profit. Now, the goods which came in, where as per the PO, were they more or were they less? We have seen people, 5 रिंग मांगी थी, 10 भेज दी, बिल देख लेते हैं. 15 बैंगल मांगे थे, 20 भेज दिए या 10 ही आए. So are you in sync with the fact that you have raised a PO, the GRN, that is the goods receipt, is happening as per the PO, the prices are non-editable? Is it that controlled or is it uncontrolled, and you are actually subjected to the honest people around you? Comparison at the SKU level of cost from 2 vendors supplying the same design. I would say even defining the same design is a difficulty today. Comparison comes later. Last selected items by a customer not bought. We always have been good at doing postmortems. We say that, okay, fine, sales analysis, I'll come to that. But do we actually see that what was the thing that was chosen but not bought? The decision to procure, when you procure jewelry, was it gut-driven or was it data-driven? And was it really live, for that matter? Jewelry piece not shown to any customer since past few months. Would you be aware that I bought these many pieces? Buying, selling is a different issue. It has not been shown only. So, जब दिखाएंगे नहीं तो बिकेगा कहाँ से? So, do you have that data? The most profitable subcontractor, the best quality-driven vendor, subcontractor, minimal rejections. I don't know if people are here from Titan, but Titan does this beautifully. I've seen them doing it beautifully. And even Carrot Lane does it beautifully. I've seen them doing it because we've been part of that. Most punctual vendor in fulfilling your purchase orders. Do you have the data? Branch management with live, seamless customer ledgers. A huge worry, because what happens is, customers' experience is today supposed to be seamless. I would say I pay 10,000 rupees to you in first store. I will say I pay 5,000 scheme payment in the second store, and I will take the delivery in the third store, and I would like to redeem the scheme and the advances and the piece that I ordered for. So the ledgers have to be seamless, the order scenarios have to be seamless, and that customer information has to be seamless across all stores. So do you really have that right now? Seamless price online and in-store. We take a lot of schemes. Schemes are nothing but we are trying to get advanced sales in very raw and crude terms, and you make money when actually you convert your schemes. So which is the best performing schemes for you? We have a lot of customers visiting us. Do you really know that last high value customers list who never visited you in the last 6 months? Again, a question mark for you. Then I have always preferred the last question. Do you have the balance sheet at a click? Seamless, live, as it happens. And do you have seamless customer experience across mediums? So be it online, be it in-store, be it your social media, is it really seamless? The expectation for today's people is, if I put something on your Instagram when I come to your store, I should be entertained in that way, and you should know your customer. Now, I don't know if many of you would agree to this. I always find that sales and profit are lag indicators. I might have people saying no to it, but I find sales and profit to be lag indicators. Now, why are they lag indicators? Because if we keep on looking at sales and profit, they will never tell you where to improve. They will tell you where are you headed. They will never tell you what improvements can you make in your organization or in the so that these lag indicators you're watching should improve. They will never tell you anything about it. Unfortunately, hum sab, including me, at some point of time, have been bound by the thought of lag indicators. Sales and profit, देखिए, अच्छा जा रहा है तो अच्छा है, खराब जा रहा है तो खराब है. But वो sales and profit लाने के लिए जो आपको पीछे करना पड़ता है, वो हम कभी नहीं देखते, because sales and profit जैसे ही आप analyze करेंगे, तो आपको कभी भी improvement कहीं नहीं मिलेगा. So what are the lead indicators that I would like to emphasize on? It's very basics, everyone knows it, just reiterating so that everyone has it in mind. Design with details, pricing, procurement, outsourcing, customer experience. Many of you would have said, ये तो पता ही है, नया क्या है इसमें? So let's show you. Said earlier, define it right to get it right. Data is the crux. You are currently defining it on a very SKU level, broad level, wherein you say, look at that piece of jewelry out there and look at the detail how we are currently maintaining. This data has been validated by our experience of good 18 years across retailers, and we have never found people maintaining more than that. Very rare, I have seen that people do it. So if you see it's on a very ballpark basis, I don't know what are the side diamonds, I don't know where is the yellow sapphire, I don't know what are the other stones, I don't know what is the center stone. It's on a very ballpark basis, because you never had the requirement to define it right. You thought बेचने के लिए जरूरत नहीं पड़ती, so why should we define it? So I would suggest get it right first. This is your data, which is so very important of having this is the proposed way. So you have every bill of material defined right. And the moment you have it defined right, you will see wonders as to the complete process changes. So what changes? You can actually reduce levels by 5 to 10%. And you will get the right designs from the right vendors, because you will actually know what is going into a design. 1 किलो माल भेज देना is not the right thing. 1 किलो क्या भेजना, उसके अंदर क्या होना चाहिए था, क्या मांगा था, वो आया या नहीं आया is the right thing. Specific sales analytics of exact designs with the components. Many of you are doing it at the category level. I would really and sincerely insist that you look at the SKU level and a bill of material level. Improve the stock turnaround, churn by minimum at least. We are in an industry wherein the cost of SKU is very high. So you should look at models wherein हम 3 ट्रे दिखा के कस्टमर को क्यों कर सकते हैं? Why is it that we cannot convince a customer by showing only 2 trays, but relevant trays of designs? So you should question that to yourself. And I don't know if many of you would have the answers. Mr. being there from KRA, I had met him once and I had some fabulous sessions with him. So here, a design is selling very well for you. Do you know what is the customer window of that design? Have that answer wherein you would say, okay, fine, Vivek, design 1, design 2, design 3, 30 दिन का महीना होता है, 30 दिन में से वो 10% रहती हैं या 20% रहती हैं या 30% रहती हैं. Generally the average is 15 to 20%. उसके अलावा वो हम procurement का reorder डालते हैं, वो माल आता है. तो actually जो designs आपकी बिक रही हैं, वो आपके सामने customer के सामने hardly 10 या 15% ही रहती हैं. उसके बाद to add to that glorious thing, we land up replacing variant also. Placement के चक्कर में sales नीचे जाता है, and we overstock us. So this is something which we found out with courtesy you guys. Have you been able to compare what has been the contribution from two, suppose that this bangle actually from this vendor contributed this much to my profit, and this vendor contributed this much to my profit. So this is something which you would get precisely once you define it right. So what we did here, just change the way your information was coming in, the way you were defining your information of designs, the way it was being processed by your procurement department, and the way you were selling it. One of the very famous jewelers, in fact, in northern India has increased his sales by 20%, courtesy this. Another jeweler took the next step saying, I'm not going to procure it myself, I'm going to give it to my merchandiser and I would say category heads. And they had the app and they had access to the real-time stock and what was selling. So what you have enabled your people to do is that they have information with respect to what is relevant. So whenever a vendor shows design, the category manager or the merchandiser would be in a position to say, you know what, this does not sell here. I'm not going to buy this. Or I already have this in stock, please don't even show it to me. So you will have some kind of relevance there. And what you have done, people, process, products, and technology coming to do, actually to do wonders for you. Any of you who find this relevant or every one of you finds it irrelevant? Selling gold to selling jewelry. Now, today, when you go to two shops, we are trying to say that, you know what, the rate for gold is such, and the other guy is selling his rate for gold is such. We are not bullion traders here. By no are actually jewelers. So until unless, should I take it off? Okay. Hello. So from selling gold to selling jewelry. So we are not bullion traders, as I was saying. We are jewelers. Why is it that a Tanishq next to you charges more gold rate? People are happy to sell, buy it from them, and people are ready to pay premium to it, and people have the trust value also. So that means that goes on to say that they have created that value, which we are yet to create. So that happens only if we can achieve transparency and we can have a good experience for customers. This shift in mindset has led to one of our clients. Minded the client is based in Tier 2 and Tier 3, what I'm talking about. The client has achieved 0 discount. You go to his shop, he will say discount nahi hai. एक भी रुपए का discount nahi, and the billing time he has reduced to less than a minute. So that is one of our clients, and I have data for 5 years. So I would request, in case we can look at selling jewelry rather than selling gold. Now we come down to customer experience. Customer experience, we say that it is not transactional, you know. The journey should be starting much before you have the first transaction. So what do we say? Relationship before commerce. So start capturing the lost opportunities, uncovered sales, and feed it to the sales staff. Here, if you see the dashboard here, don't go by that picture, we can have a better one. Last interaction, item preferences, average order value, lifetime value, orders, sales, customer stock, in case something has been given on memo, schemes, bills, loyalty, ledger, visits. Everything under one window, and that's what your salesperson needs to have in store when a person walks in. Or for that matter, your customer service department, if a call comes, this is the kind of information that you need to be providing to your people so that they can actually be relevant. You know, you've been to restaurants, right? And you feel so good, you know, when someone says, last time you had this paneer dish, sir, and you liked it. You're floored. कि उसको याद था मेरे बारे में. And you find that person to be nice. You land up ordering more. Same is the perception when you buy clothes. So the salesperson is good or bad. Why? Because of the relevance that he or she has with you. This has been a cause of concern even at Titan. Titan did what it was supposed to do, because there was an interview which has been published of the MD, which said that he was really worried, you know, कि भाभी जी का जो choice है, वो तो हमारे एक सेल्स पर्सन को पता है, वो 7 दिन में छुट्टी पे चला जाएगा, तो नेक्स्ट डे वो भाभी जी आएंगे तो हम क्या करेंगे? So those preferences have to be recorded. That preferences have to be there with you rather than it being individual centric. And as per Forbes, 86% customers would pay more, you know, for a better customer experience. So हम जो discounts में जाते हैं, उससे अच्छा है in case we get some better customer experience. So we got to invest on the customers, so we'll get more sales. And we have seen that this increases sales and wallet share by minimum 10 to 15%. And this is because you have quality customer engagement. Whenever you're engaging, you're showing something more relevant, you're showing something what the person likes. अब उसको बैंगल चाहिए, अगर हम रिंग दिखा रहे हैं तो ऑब्वियसली नहीं बिकेगी, दैट इज अ नोन फैक्ट, राइट? और बैंगल एक पर्टिकुलर बजट में देखती है वो फैमिली, और हम उसको दिखा रहे हैं कोई और बजट में. अप स्केलिंग इज डिफरेंट, बट यू गॉट टू बी रेलेवेंट देयर. So changing the process within to create relations beyond commerce. Now, what has been the impact of all those lead indicators that I just mentioned? We have seen that 5 to 10% less inventory to achieve the same sales. As I was selling कि 3 ट्रे क्यों दिखाने हैं sales achieve करने के लिए? 2 ट्रे में भी काम होता है. Minimum 1 to 10 CR savings on manpower, doing redundant work per year. This is depending on your scale, you know, depends on how big or small you are, and depends on how many manpower do you have. Because these figures might sound astounding, mind-boggling to you, but let me tell you, हम इंडिया में, भारत देश में man hours की कोई कदर नहीं करते. Man hours are cheap, so we don't actually see. Then हमारे man hours free हैं, हम तो owner हैं, तो perfectly fine. That also we don't count. But start counting, you will get to those figures here. 10% increase in wallet share, 20% more conversions, and we have achieved 0% fraud across customers. Not a single instance has happened with our customers. How do you do all this? So I'm saying that the lead indicators should be monitored. So you can do this by integrating and analyzing the lead indicators. This is a seamless organization. See, it is plugged there. You have a complete ERP solution that is actually feeding data to AI and data analytics designs. This is data analytics and complete customer journey. This obviously on top of it, you can have your omni-channel marketplace. Everything can be in place. What is the next big thing that people actually are looking for? You're looking at expansion. And expansion is by virtue of omni-channel, physical store, franchisee, or marketplace. These are the 4 modes that I could summarize. I'm sure you would have more. But to do this, at the core of all this is the strength of a backbone is the ERP and a robust infrastructure. In the last decade, we have been witness to a client scaling from a few hundred crores to being $1 billion enterprise. AI, much talked about. Artificial intelligence, I'll just take hardly some time of yours. I will relate it to our minds when we are kids and how we grow up. If the data fed to us is right, our mind interprets it right, the output is right, and your conclusions are right. Similar is the case of the artificial intelligence. If the data fed is right, you would have the right models, and you would have tangible, intelligent results. There's no magic as far as artificial intelligence is concerned. You got to have seamless data, which is not being done manually and being popped up again and again, which is corrected with time to will give you good data. There's something in generative AI also. And generative AI was tried in the retail front. We studied. There was a guy in New York, you know, who generated some designs in clothing. And they were pitched as unique. They were pitched as exclusive. And they sold 40% more than any normal designs. Now, CRM can help increase sales by 29%. This is data has been validated even by Salesforce. 34% increase in sales productivity, 42% sales forecast accuracy, and 40% increase in sales with generative AI as we spoke. Now, this journey, what I mentioned, has been undertaken by a lot of clients. I'm mentioning two of them today. Mr. Kiran Shinde of PMJ Jewels, and Mr. Gaurav Anand from Anand Jewels. I would like to call on Kiran first. Kiran? Hi, please come. So PMJ has been crafting relationships since 1964 and has a spread of 32 stores. PMJ adopted the change for a complete ERP around 8 years back. And he has been our man for getting through a lot of challenges which were there operationally. I would like him to share his journey and the challenges he faced and the benefits that he has reaped. Over to you, Kiran.
Yeah, thanks Vivek for having me on this forum. So this journey began about 8 years ago for us, and when I came on board for PMJ Jewels, the first question that we were trying to address was, how do we scale the business? We were about 8 stores then, and about 8 or 10 offices, and now we are about 32 stores spanning across South India. So the first question that came across to us was, how are we going to scale the business? What are the prerequisites of scaling the business further? So being chartered accountant, the first question that came to my mind is, okay, the backbone of the business, we always call it the ERP. Is ERP functioning right? Is ERP has that scalability in it? Do we get our right ERP in place before we start doing anything else? So that was the first thing that came to the mind, and we thought getting that backbone in place is the most important thing to start with. So we were having very few prerequisites for the ERP, and we thought let's enumerate them and see to that, let's check